Luxury new construction homes in one of Kansas City's most sought after suburbs. All three of the properties we're going to show you in this video come in well under $1 million. They're built by a top builder in Kansas City that you might have seen on the channel before. And this first one comes in under $750.
But make sure you stick around to the end because we're going to show you this home last, and it has $1 million level finishes at a price that we couldn't believe.
Now, starting with house number one, this is the one that was under $750. It's available, ready for move-in right now. Two-story plan. It's got 5 total bedrooms. We have to put the floor plan on the screen right here because the main floor is very unique. It's got a guest suite and a formal dining room, which is very, very rare to see both of those things on a 2-story plan. But starting with the entry, Jordan, we've got this
8-foot tall door. We've got soaring 2-story ceilings. And then I love that light fixture. Really good focal point as soon as you walk in the home.
Now, the reason we mentioned the formal dining as well as the guest suite is rare to see because usually with the 2-story, the footprint tends to be smaller. You've got that master upstairs. So the aftermath of the last couple years, people are working from home, they're spending more time at home. A lot of the time we see this as a formal office, which you could certainly do, but you've got this cased opening. You could easily add some French doors, some French barn doors, whatever your style is. Pretty good size. But I know the theme of the video was luxury homes, and I don't think price is the only thing that dictates what a luxury home is. I think it's a lot of the finishes and the materials. So this would be one, you'll see them throughout the house, casement windows.
Yeah, what's so nice about those versus single hung is they have a seal all the way around. There's no frame or bar in the middle obstructing your view, and they crank all the way open, which allows a lot more airflow. So just a lot of value here, just having those windows at this home.
Yeah, we typically only see casement windows above like a $900,000 price point. Sometimes below that price point, we might see them in the front because they make the elevation, the front of the house, look better. But in this house, you're going to see them throughout. And speaking of windows, wall to wall here, look at all these.
Yeah, wall to wall, almost floor to ceiling, just all that natural light coming in. It just makes it feel nice and cozy. I don't know, I like it.
And then, I mean, you've even got them over here. You've got this slider to the deck, but we are going to start. This is my favorite. We originally weren't even going to show this home, but we walked through it. It was like, we got to put it in the video. And it was so good, we put it first. So Jordan, look at the surround here.
So I love the fireplace. I love how thick that wood trim is around it. I love the stain. Also how they did the darker tile. And you had mentioned this earlier. That tile has a little bit of brown in it that really plays off of that stain color. It's a very good look.
Yeah, and I love that they recessed the built-ins on either side. We're going to see the same setup in house number 3, which that's a very unique plan as well. You've got the downlighting, the floating shelves, the built-ins, the stain matches all the way around. But coming around this way, the kitchen, couple things. One is you've got these light fixtures. We've seen these at $1 million+ homes before. They've got a ceramic glaze. You'll see that on the backsplash.
Yeah, it ties in really well there. And then what I really like about this kitchen is how they did the two-tone. They did the stain here on the lowers, and then they did the enamel on the uppers.
Yeah, it just costs a little bit more to do that. Sometimes stain grade cabinetry is more expensive because the wood grain, what you see, the quality of the wood grain is more important because of that stain itself. Now, one thing that you're not going to see here that you'd probably see, that we hope you would see, like $1.2 million plus property would be kitchen cabinets to the ceiling. You're going to see those in property number 2. We're willing to forgive that, but still call this a luxury home because it's under $750 and it's in a top suburb that we're going to explain in a second. This is the informal dining area, the breakfast nook. It leads right out onto the deck right here. And this is a big deal because this is a flat lot. They didn't have to put the deck in. They probably could have just put a concrete patio. That would be standard to see on this type of lot and for most builders. It costs more to do something like this. And Jordan, they did composite decking.
Yeah, composite decking, which is more expensive and super easy to clean. It doesn't rot away. It's just a great value add. They also did the metal spindles instead of the wood spindles for the handrail, and I really like that touch there.
Yeah, and the overall size of this is just huge, but We'll come back inside. We're still waiting on sod here, which normally they do on these homes really close to closing. Coming around this way, we've got the stacked microwave oven. You've got a 5-burner cooktop. And then this is where we're going to start to see the guest suite. This is all hidden behind the kitchen. So a couple things. Garage entry is to your right. We've got a pretty substantial boot bench.
That's a huge boot bench, extra wide. It's kind of hard to tell at this angle, I think, in the video, but that is a wide mud bench there.
Yeah, in house number 2, you're going to see a full mud room, which is one thing that's rare to see. Pantry is around the corner from the kitchen. You've got a coat closet next door to the pantry, and then
linen closet for the bathroom,
which is perfect. You've got the full bath. What I like here, you've got that stained quartz countertops, slim profile trimmed out mirror. And Jordan, this is the other rare part of the plan. This is why we showed it in the video, because it's really rare to see the formal dining in this guest bedroom.
Yeah, this is something a little bit more common than we are starting to see with some newer 2-story plans, but still not super common to have this guest room. And you could use this as an office too if you wanted to.
Absolutely. So just a lot of flexibility with this type of plan. But as we make our way to the master, which is upstairs, one thing that you should know is this is in the suburb of Lenexa, Kansas. It's one of the most in-demand areas in Kansas City right now because it has a lot of benefits that you might find in like an Overland Park, for example, but one that's very unique. And Jordan, that would be the Lenexa City Center.
Oh yeah, so they've been developing that for the last several years. You've got the public market, there's the Lenexa Rec Center down there, Lifetime Fitness. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going in. It's just a great place to go, grab a bite to eat, or just meet somebody.
Yeah, the city's been spending a ton of money. So all that development is what's bringing people into the area, but you're also very close to quite a few different parks. So Shawnee Mission Park, you've got Black Hoof Park that's like 3 or 4 minutes away. The nice part about Lenexa is if you're into the outdoors, if you like trails, if you like seeing green space, like this is one of the areas to be. Just lots of elevation changes and treetops to see. But we've got 4 bedrooms up. We showed you the 5th, which was downstairs on the main level. This first one, you've got the casement windows in the front. You've got a little bit of a vault on the ceiling.
That vault just creates a little bit more volume, a little bit more ceiling height. It's really nice seeing that up here on the 2nd floor.
We're gonna go a little bit quicker. Full walk-in closet. You've got a full bathroom. This is the one bedroom that has an ensuite. The next 2 share a Jack and Jill in the middle, but you've got a casement window.
Yep, another casement window throughout this home. It's really nice to see that at this price point. A lot of times what we'll see is like single hung windows on the back of the home. This shares, this has the Jack and Jill with bedroom number 3. You've got the quartz countertop, beautiful white subway tile. And then there's Nick there.
So I want to point this out. The quartz countertops, usually secondary bathrooms is where we see cultured marble, not even, you know, the undermount sink with the quartz or granite. So that's another big upgrade, but same thing. Casement window, you got a little bit of a bench there. And then we're going to move on to the master, and then we'll come back to this laundry room right here. But I do want to point out, you've got the hardwoods on the landing, which we don't always see that, especially under $750. I mean, that's really unique. But Jordan, look at this. We've got all the windows, huge box vault.
Yep, huge box vault in the ceiling, just creates more volume in the room. I like how they did the windows in the corner. That way the bed goes right in between. It's just perfect setup here.
With the nightstand, yeah. And then the bathroom, because this is a 2-story, you're gonna hear a little bit of an echo. And that's just because this place is huge. But you've got the double wide vanity, the trimmed out mirror. And then
they also vaulted this ceiling, Nick. So just once again, creating that height and that volume on the 2nd floor.
You've got the upgraded floating tub, the frosted window, and then a pretty big shower. It's got an interior window in there, but the Euro glass panel door.
But my favorite part is they have a bench in the back here, the whole width. And that's just nice. Just sit down there and relax.
And around the corner, we've got the closet, which has a ton of storage. But we're going to move on to the second property. All the specs are on the screen. It has a beautiful elevation, and just wait till you see the finishes inside and the bonus room in the master upstairs.
Starting in the entry, very similar to house number 1. We've got soaring 2-story ceilings. beautiful chandelier. And then Nick, you've got the transom windows up top.
Yeah, those remind me of another plan we toured by this builder called the Roosevelt, but whole different price point, whole different type of home. Jordan, this is a formal dining, and I'm seeing one thing that we tend to see them do quite a bit.
Yeah, so they've got this reeded light fixture here. We've seen that in the Riviera. We saw it in the Roosevelt, and we're going to see it in other places here in this home as well. But you've got this formal dining right off the main. What's nice about it, there's really two ways to get to the main living room. It's on that side of the stairwell where Nick was standing, or you could come through here. We do have a little coffee bar area. Very nice touch, recessed into the wall. What do you think of those floating shelves, Nick?
I like it. This resembles a traditional two-story, right? You've got this transition between the dining room directly into the kitchen. That's the main difference between this plan and the other, is that dining room was a little disjointed. And Jordan, the space in here is huge, but I know that you want to start with this fireplace.
Yeah, massive space. And that's because on the other plan, they had the guest room on the main floor. Here we don't have that. But this fireplace, absolutely huge, a lot of width. I love the tile. And then Nick, we talked about this earlier, this low profile box vault, they do have the crown molding and then all the recessed lights. I think that's a beautiful look.
I like the look a lot too. And I also notice, this fan, a lot of the light fixtures we'll see in here, that reeded light fixture in the dining. I mean, very, very highly up. I mean, I think we've seen these in their $1 million plus, $2 million plus properties. But we also have the deck. We'll get to that here in just a second. I just want to point out, Jordan, you made a great point. There's no guest bedroom, but look at how long this is.
Oh, it just makes the kitchen so much bigger. And not just that, but the space between the living room and the kitchen is just, it's massive. I mean, you could dance in there. And then the breakfast nook, very good size as well. You've got the picture windows. I mean, that's kind of a theme we're seeing between these two homes.
Jordan, one thing is very unique about this island. One is the posts here. Look at that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of trim detail in these posts. So it's not just on the post here, but you also see it on the other side of the island as well. But I think there's enough for 4 or 5 seats around there. Nice quartz countertop. A lot of times what we're seeing is the sink in the island. They've got it on the perimeter here. They did this nice bump out with the window, little cove. Very good look. And then I like these fixtures, the kind of a copper antique look.
Yeah, I love these. I can tell you for a fact we saw something very similar to this one. I believe the Riviera, and I think maybe even the Roosevelt. But one thing that we want to point out here, the other kitchen, right? It had cabinets that didn't quite go to the ceiling. We warned you. These, absolutely, they're going to the ceiling. Jordan, that hood is just beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful hood. I love the way that they trimmed it out. It is wider than normal. And then the glazing on the tile, I think that's an excellent look. I also like how they did it vertically.
I do too. Now, you've got a ton of other upgrades, like the little trim accent. These aren't just shaker style cabinets, so they spend a little bit more money on these. But Jordan, we've got the pantry right there.
You got the pantry there. They've got the enamel paint on all the shelves. It just lasts a lot longer. It's a lot more durable. But what's really impressive here, so the garage entry, you've got your half bath, but Nick, this massive mudroom.
Yeah, very rare do we ever see an actual mudroom, but Jordan, this is wall to wall. This is a huge bench.
Yep, huge bench. And what's nice too, they stained it. It is more expensive to do that other than just doing a paint color.
Here, I'm gonna come in. Why don't you, we'll get to the half bath in a second. I wanted to come in because you've got this extra built-in the corner, which I thought was a good use of space as well. But I do want to show you the powder room finishes here. You've got the darker enamel color, the trimmed out mirror. And Jordan, really quickly, before we get to the deck, one part of this video that's important is the builder. So, Bickimer Homes, we've toured several of their properties before. One thing that makes them different, we talked about this in our top builders video, which we'll leave down below in the description, is that they build at a wide range of prices.
Yeah, so these start here $700,000, but I mean, they go all the way up to 2.5 million plus, depending on what you want. They also do a lot of high quality finishes in their home, and they're just a really solid builder. They've been around since the 80s. But we're going to take a look at the deck now, and got to get the lock right.
And this is a similar situation to the last house, perhaps because of the grading and how high up the main level is. Maybe they needed the deck, but usually on a lot like this, you're just going to see a concrete patio. So to see this big, composite decking, you've got all the beams. I mean, Jordan, this is like 2 steps away from being screened in.
Yeah, it would be pretty easy to screen in. You have all the posts. I like how they did the black spindles. And the deck alone here, that's $10,000, $15,000 more than a patio. Now heading upstairs, a little bit more about Bickimer. They are the developer here, this community, and we'll touch on that more later on. But they've got like 7 spec homes available right now. Several of them are ready to go, which is rare in this housing shortage that we're in. But Nick, as we get up here, we've got the engineered hardwoods in the hallway, just similar to the last house, something we don't always see. And then this master bedroom is huge.
Jordan, I'm honestly, I don't like 2 stories that much. And I know that's like annoying to hear because we just showed 2 stories to you. These, I was like, we gotta put them into the video. This one, the master, this is huge. Not only do you have this bonus room we're gonna get to in a second that we've been hinting at for like the last 15 minutes, but you've got 9-foot ceilings on this entire 2nd floor. This box vault in the middle of the master, this gets you to 10 feet.
Yep.
Very rare to see.
Yeah, super rare. Most of the time, 8 foot is all you're gonna get on the 2nd floor. The bonus room, I mean, you could use this as a closet. We were debating, what's this for? Maybe it's a closet. Maybe you could use it as an extra little office space.
Yeah, that's really, yeah, I initially thought it was like a his/her closet setup situation, but we figured it out. We think they did that because this wall, if they were to leave that, it would end like right there. And then you have no room for the king size bed, the nightstands on either side. So that gets you some extra space without having to sacrifice a wall. That's one of the most annoying things, by the way, is if you have walls that are just shy of the space you need for a king size bed.
The other awesome thing they did is they bumped out this wall. And so you have all this space. You could put a couch, you could put a couple of chairs, you know, you read in here and just relax. Just a nice area. And then when we come into the master bathroom, you've got the French doors leading in, quartz countertop, extra wide vanity, double vanity sink. I like how they have all these drawers in the middle and how the countertop's cut out. And then the freestanding tub, the big picture window that's frosted. So you got all that privacy.
I love that they've got this interior window. It's something that they've done in they've got it in the model. We've seen it in a couple more of their homes. But yeah, the frosted exterior window, that's a big value add there.
Yeah, so very similar shower as the previous home. You've got a bench wall to wall. You've got the window in there. And then Nick, this closet, you've got 3 layers of hangers here all the way to the ceiling. You've got the built-in mirror and all the shelves. And then it wraps around to the laundry.
I was wondering why we were going this way. I was wondering why we
it just keeps going.
That's nice.
So you do have your little counter here, all your built-in cabinets up above, and then your hanger. It's just a nice touch. And what I really like is how you've got the door on the other side, so it connects to, it's easy to feed into all the other bedrooms.
We got a linen closet right here. And then we showed you the bedrooms in house number 1, very similar finishes here. So, Jordan, it's time for house number 3 here. The specs are on the screen. This one's on a walkout lot. Green space, there's tree line in the back, complete privacy, under $900,000. But the kicker here is this is over 3,300 square feet. And Jordan, look at these French doors.
Yeah, you know I love French doors. So those are 8 foot tall. You've got the glass and the mutton bars. Gives it a very classic look and a line of sight all the way from the front to the back of the home.
We'll put the floor plan on the screen right here. We will be referencing another property we toured a couple weeks ago. It's called the Riviera. It was like $2.5 million, completely different price point. But this layout has a lot of similarities. It doesn't quite have this secret room right here or the golf simulator downstairs, but under 900, the price per square foot here is crazy. And it all starts with this stairwell.
Yep, very, very beautiful stairwell. The way they trimmed out both walls around it, very classic looking, very subtle. But what it does is it opens up the room, adds a lot of volume to the room, just makes it feel bigger.
And they also, most builders would just wall this off with drywall. Not only did they add the niche, but you've got the stained accent on the bottom. They ran electrical for the downlighting on the top.
Perfect for a piece of art.
Yes, and the first thing we want to start with, aside from just the entry, is the bedroom slash office. You got the 2 casement windows. They're overlooking the front porch. A little bit of a vault here. They do have a walk-in closet, but we're going to show you the full bath for the main floor.
Yep, stand-up shower here, black framed glass doors, and then you do have the quartz countertop, black hardware with the stained vanity.
Now, by far, one of my favorite things about the house is the view. We mentioned Lenexa. It's well known for the elevation changes, the treetops, all of the scenic views in this area. One of my favorite things about the house is certainly that view, but look at the great room here, Jordan. I mean, we've seen this fireplace around, I think, in house number 1.
Yeah, I think it was in house number 2 as well, but I love how they went with the lighter stain. And I know you loved the recessed built-ins, the vertical shiplap, it's stained in the background, and then the antique lights above.
Yes, I really like a lot of Bickimer's design choices. One that required a lot of thought, most builders are not going to do it. We mentioned the niche right there. Most builders are not going to drywall and recess these built-in shelves. So it leaves you with this dead space above the top shelf up there, which nobody wants something collecting dust like that. It's just nice that that's so seamless and well thought through. But I love the kitchen, a lot of similar elements, a couple big differences. One is the top. It's certainly upgraded. It's a little bit higher level. And I'm not a big fan of polished tops. This one's leathered and it definitely hits the spot for me. But got a composite sink, upgraded hardware. And then we've also mentioned a lot of kind of vertical patterns and different trim work, and you'll find that on the backsplash. It's not quite reeded, but it's very similar. We showed you that light fixture in house number 2. That's one thing we've seen a lot of Bickimer's homes. But Jordan, 5-burner gas cooktop. You've also got the stacked microwave and oven. But this pantry, they took it to a whole new level.
Yeah, beautiful walk-in pantry. They carried the same countertop from the kitchen into here, so nice workstation. They also have upgraded shelves, and then something that we like to see. We actually have a client that wants one of these, is a door on a swivel.
Yeah, they might have a glass panel, but the builders were referring to it as a flipper door, which we're going to use that from now on. We're going to definitely run with that. The other thing is, Jordan, you mentioned this is upgraded. A lot of the time, we just see site installed shelving. I think these were possibly made by the cabinet maker because it's just quite a bit upgraded. You've got the adjustable shelves rather than the fixed shelves. That's certainly a nice function to have. But
you also have all the face framing and everything else. Just a better look.
Really nice. At this, with everything else we're seeing, really impressive. You've got the paneled stained accent ceiling up there. I love that it's box vaulted as well, but this space alone is pretty big especially for a 1.5 store. I know this is like the expanded version of the plan, but this is a lot of space. You get the hutch, there's downlighting back there, and we should mention all these homes we've had engineered hardwood floors. These planks are really, really wide.
They're extra wide. I think those are 6 or 8 inches. Nice size engineered hardwood plank.
Now, this one, it's almost zero entry from the deck to the inside the house. But the nice thing about this, it's a little windy. So if you hear that, I'm sorry.
Spring's moving in.
That's right. We got the beautiful tree line. You got these huge beams. But again, all 3 of the decks that we've seen, even at the $750 price point, composite, they're oversized. Most decks that we see, they stop about right here. That's about it. So you've got quite a few extra feet on either side.
Yeah, you could definitely put a dining room table out here, couple of chairs, maybe even a grill.
I would need a grill, maybe downstairs because this is a walkout. But sometimes I run into those, so I have to make it a point to walk around them. Before we get to the mudroom, this community, in case you're wondering, is called the Enclave at Manchester Park, Lenexa, Kansas. That's why you get all these beautiful treetops, the beautiful views, and they have quite a few lots available just like this that back to green space. They're walkout lots. They also, like Jordan mentioned in house number 2, they have quite a few spec homes. All three of the ones we've shown you here, they have a couple more in addition to these. They are move-in ready, 30 days or less. They're gonna get sawed down. There aren't many homes on the market that are like these that can move on this time frame. So we'll leave the link to the community website down below. Bickimer Homes, they're the builder of all three of these. They're also the developer. But Jordan, let's take a look at the boot bench.
Yeah, so we've got the garage entry here, beautiful boot bench. I love how they did the shiplap, just like we saw in the living room and the dining room. And they do have the stained mud bench top there.
Now, we will link that. We mentioned at the beginning of this tour, we mentioned the Riviera home. That one was staged. So we're going to be referencing that one, but we'll leave a link to it down below in the description. And the reason I say that is because this master is set up very, very similarly. So the first thing is you had this bump out. They staged it with a couch. I think there was a light here or over there. It adds this nice sitting area to the master. The second thing is you've got the box vault. I like that the light fixture kind of blends in. It's got that antique look in line with the other finishes.
It also has texture on it as well. And then
I thought it was painted. We walked through here and I was like, did the painter spray this? Like what?
It does. It does kind of have that look, but it's very unique.
I'm not a light fixtures guy, so don't use that as a mark against me here. But very similar to the Riviera, you had the bed in the middle, nightstands on either side, and then of course they added the casement windows even at the back of the house. But Jordan, this bathroom is like almost the same footprint. So you had this wall-to-wall vanity. There's no makeup counter in the middle, but this is still the upgraded top we saw in the kitchen, the half bath, the pantry. They added the two transom windows up top. I'm sure they're just waiting on the mirror.
There's a mirror on the way.
Okay, well, good. And then you've got a floating, you got a freestanding tub here. I love the ceiling heights, even in the bathroom.
Yeah, this is super tall. You've got the ceiling, and then you have this wall here for privacy. They don't have the glass yet, but it will be installed soon. It's a very good look.
Yep, so this will just be a glass panel all the way around, a glass panel door. You got the two shower heads, and then you've got a bench in the middle. Water closet is to your left, laundry is to your right, and it's all enclosed in the master. You'll find out why here in a second, but this is the master closet. You do have a window, you need some window treatments, but you've got 3 levels of storage. And Jordan, why don't we show the laundry real quick?
Tons of hanging space. And then in the laundry room, we do have these built-in cabinets on one side, and then the built-ins with the quartz countertop on the other. Plenty of space to fold your laundry. One thing to note, they added a pocket door here. This really eliminates a lot of the hassle with doors swinging in and out of your way.
I like that. That's very low profile. Before we get to the lower level, any questions buying, building a new construction home in Kansas City? This is what we do for most of our clients, whether they're building or they're looking for something move-in ready. We go out and scout the best communities, builders, places where we can find the best homes and options for you. And we'd love to make sure you've got all of the ones that would match what you're looking for in front of you. So make sure to give us a phone call, text message, email, and we'd be happy to set you up for success. Heading down to the lower level, I like that they took this floor to ceiling, but you do have a hardwood floor landing. I like how subtle the upgraded high tread carpet is, but one of my favorite things in a lower level, it's not just the bar, it's a fireplace. And they did it floor to ceiling. You've got the stone, you've got the stained mantle.
You got the mortar. I know you like the mortar on the stone. I love the fact that it's a corner fireplace. It's a good spot for it.
And also, the stone doesn't have much variation. So either they found a specific color of stone like that, or they like handpicked one of the two. Most of the time we see a lot more variation than that. That's why I bring it up. But the other thing is very subtle. I mean, I don't know if I want to say this or not. Very rarely do we come across gray countertops that I think go with the other finishes in the home. This one I'm willing to make an exception for. I think they did a really good job. This all blends in. Same leathered texture that we saw upstairs. But look what ties it all in is this backsplash.
That tile is super cool. I mean, it's got a lot of texture in it, and it's got that gray color. Just flows really well, especially with the stain too.
Absolutely. I like that the sink is on the perimeter and not on the island. This is just different, is the island is standing height. Of course, you could put bar stools under. You've got this, I'm going to butcher this word. You've got these rattan, I think, light fixtures here.
It's like a basket weave light fixture.
And then, of course, this is like the dining space. You had the hutch here that was upstairs, and this all leads outside. We're going to show you one quick shot because it's the same footprint. It's right under that deck. You've got this huge patio.
Yep, perfect spot to put your lounge chairs out here and just enjoy the weather. It's a little windy today.
It's windy.
But...
Come on back and enjoy. I don't want you to blow away here. We do have 2 bedrooms. Yeah, we do have 2 bedrooms down here. There's a, oh my goodness, this wind is opening the door.
The door open.
So right back here, we got separation. Hallway creates a little bit of privacy. We've got, oh, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So shared bathroom in the middle. This is bedroom number 1 down here. You've got a closet, 2 casement windows, even in the basement in the back of the house. And then, very similar, this is just a linen closet, but around the corner, you've got the full bath. Builders usually don't do the rods up there for shower curtains. So that's kind of nice to see.
Yep, that is a nice rod too. Same color finish as all the hardware. And then you've got the quartz countertop.
The bedroom number 4 right here, 2 casement windows. This one does have a walk-in closet, but at this price point, $900, under $900, it was well under $900. The laundry room upstairs, as you probably noticed, it was connected to the master. There's no way to get out from that laundry room back to the main levels of the home. Here, you've got a separate laundry room, which is such a value add. There's no going up and down the stairs.
I cannot remember the last time. Have we seen this yet?
Yes, we've seen it a couple of times, but it's so rare to see it. So in a reverse,
yeah,
usually it's like 1.2 or something higher than that before you start to see value like this. But that would be a reason to reach out so we can tell you some of the builders, the areas where you can get an incredible value for the price, because luxury is not confined to the price point. It has much more to do with the level of value inside of the home and the quality of the finishes. And we'd love to make sure that the home you buy or build, regardless of what the price point is, has that same level of quality. So feel free to reach out anytime. There are 2 videos on the screen. This one answers pretty much every question about buying or building a new home you might have. Then this is actually a playlist of our other tours of Bickimer's property. So click here or here, and we'll see you on the other side.